welcome to the Morning Sprint. I am Daphne Gray, and as you can see, I am right here by myself today. Our girl Rebecca Williams is off. Brittany Weir, she's out doing her thing, out and about right now. So, yeah, that means I am working with the controls as well. So I apologize in advance if I mess something up. I think I got it down pat, but you got me. You got Jazzy Jazz coming up later on in the show. But first, before we get started, you already know we hit those really cool stories, whether those are big talkers, get your mind thinking, and just put a smile on your face. And this may put a lot of smiles on a lot of people's faces. We've got the Beatles. They are back in the building. But get this, through artificial intelligence, the plan for the well-known band to drop new music that is coming up later in the sprint. We're going to tell you guys how exactly they're doing this, but also I want to know who's your favorite star that has passed away that you wouldn't mind hearing new music from through artificial intelligence. I know technology is coming into place, and that's always something that's doing a lot of different things out there. Like I said, I know you got some music still being released by Tupac, and there's some stuff from Prince, a lot of cool things out there. But again, who would you like to hear? I want you to drop it in the comment section. Jazzy Jazz is going to get to it later on. But again, specifically, who is a star that's your favorite that has passed on that you would love to hear them drop some new music through artificial intelligence? All right, let's get right to it, man. Today is Blood Donor Day. Get this. If you haven't never been donated blood before, it is worth it and is worth considering. Super easy as well. According to the American Red Cross, every 2 seconds, someone in the U.S. needs blood or platelets. The most common type of blood requested by hospitals is type O. And if you've never donated, it's pretty simple. If you're nervous, doctors got your back as far as that advice to make you feel a lot comfortable doing it.
It is safe. It's very simple. It's relatively painless. You'll feel a little pinch. It only takes a few minutes. And again, it can be life-saving for someone who needs a transfusion.
So donating blood typically only takes 8 to 10 minutes, and donating platelets, red cells, or plasma takes longer. So again, if you are a big blood donor, that is such a good deal because you never know what your blood will do to help another person's life. I know Jenna Zipton was talking about how she donated blood and has donated at least a gallon so far. So shout out to her. I know several people who've donated multiple gallons. So if you guys want to do that, the information is on our website to figure out how you can get connected to trying to figure out how to help different families out there who may need that blood. You never know what will happen. But again, all of that could be found on our website at WSLS.com. Let's get to this particular situation. This is a really cool story right here. Of course, the organization No Kid Hungry Virginia is doing everything they can to continue making sure children have healthy meals through these summer months. We all know how stressful that can be. They are now encouraging families to text food or comida to 304-304. Yep, you heard that right. It's through the simple act of using your cell phone. You have to type in a zip code to find the nearby summer meal sites organized by school districts and community organizations, and anyone 18 and under can get the meals for free of charge. No registration or proof of residency or citizenship is needed at familiar community places like parks, pools, schools, churches, and libraries. For more information, you can visit the story on our website at WSLS.com. Another great initiative out there because we all know how much of a struggle it can be for some families who don't have that food, that consistent food throughout the summertime. And you got organizations like this that are trying their best to make sure people have access to healthy meals, especially our children when they're developing on a day-to-day basis. Got some major cool construction coming to the town of Bedford. Very exciting. Check this out. A new hotel will be built near the National D-Day Memorial, the Bedford Area Welcome Center. If you're looking at your screen right now, you see there's a map that kind of shows you exactly where everything will be located. Town hasn't said what brand hotel is coming, but they did say it is well known. So you never know, you might be getting a Hilton or something. We don't know. Everybody's super excited about that, but it will include at least 85 hotel rooms and a 100-person meeting room. Hotel is expected to open in summer of 2025. So what do you think it'll be? I want to know you guys' guess. Your guess is as good as mine, but whatever the case may be, that means good economic value to the community, more people coming to the area, and you can never lose with a hotel, man. In Giles County, they're also doing something cool. Check this out. Got this transit. They're trying to get a public transit system going to the area. But they want people to give their thoughts in a feasibility study. Study would gather ideas of what community members want and if it would be possible in the county. And we have a link to that study on our website at WSLS.com. Open until the end of the month so you guys can check that out. Figure out what are you thinking about? I mean, it's a good deal. I think you can't lose with that. Any type of transit is very helpful for people who don't have cars or have easy access to different things. So yeah, I want to hear your thoughts on this. And again, you can go on our website, WSLS.com, to figure out how to get in that feasibility study. We got this cool thing that Brittany Weir has been covering all morning long called the Zoo Chew. I have never heard of this before because obviously I'm new to the area, but I know this train that is at the zoo has been very popular among different families. This is happening at Mill Mountain Zoo. Says it's been over 2 years due to that hiatus because they were doing a lot of renovations. But Brittany Weir, she's working for you, giving you the inside scope of how this thing has come back. It's come back for families to enjoy for the better. So take it away, Britt.
The Zoo Chew is officially back at Mill Mountain Zoo.
It was a great ride. It was really fun.
For many like Mary and her son Jack, this train is more than just a ride. It's an important part of their family's history.
My grandfather, Judge Jack Coulter, was a big part of the development of the original Zoo Chew and also laid a lot of the track too. And Jack is named after my grandfather, so this is exciting to be able to bring him back to the train track that he was part of.
Even though there have been a lot of repairs to the train, including a complete restoration of the locomotive and 2 passenger cars and replacement of the gas engine, the original track that Mary's grandfather helped build is still the same.
I had no idea this was the original track. That makes me feel really special that he was part of it. It's a great way to remember him.
In total, the Mill Mountain Zoo needed to raise $65,000 to make all the repairs to the Zoo Chew to bring it back for its guests.
Once we raised a portion of the funds needed to renew the Zoo Chew, it was hauled off-site into Kinsey Sign Company garage and remodeled, and they had to order parts.
The Zoo Chew is an important part of Mill Mountain Zoo's history. It was built in 1953 and gives you a behind-the-scenes look at some of the animals that you can see right here.
We just could not deny the public's demand for the Zoo Chew. Those of us who rode the Zoo Chew as a kid just, wanted that Zoo Chew back on the track. So we listened to our guests, and now we're able, with their help, able to provide a more robust experience for the guests.
Kim Garlinghouse is one of the Zoo Chew's conductors. And she says it's truly an honor to drive the train around the zoo for each family.
They come back making me feel like a superhero with comments like, that was the best train ride ever, oh, I'm so excited, I want to do it again.
We're just thrilled to support the zoo, and we always have fun when we come up here, and that's been a big part that we've been missing.
Such a good deal right there, Britt. Thanks you so much for bringing us that cool story. So we got the ribbon cutting ceremony taking place, scheduled for today. And if you would like to ride on the Zoo Chew, get this, it runs every 30 minutes from 10 to 5 p.m. And also there's a new mural that is being added to the tunnel of the tracks that is set to be complete this summer as well. So a lot of history right there. A lot of families are very excited about it, pumped up, because I know you may have had a child that was maybe 2 years old when they went a couple years ago, and then to see what it has grown into today, bet that's very exciting. So shout out to them, and you can see this full story again on our website at WSLS.com. Speaking of being outside at the zoo doing different activities and festivities, we got to get to meteorologist Chris Michaels. Chris Michaels got our forecast today. Obviously, this morning was very comfortable. I like the breeze that was happening, so he has your hump day forecast as we speak.
Hey guys, happy hump day to you. An isolated shower or two today and Friday. Otherwise, we're mostly dry for the rest of the week. We'll actually warm things up a little bit more through Father's Day. Looks like our showers and storms being pushed back more toward early next week. Certainly could use the rain, but things are looking up for the holiday weekend forecast. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. I'll see you this time tomorrow on The Sprint.
All right, Chris, thank you so much giving us those hump day headlines. But also, get this, man, we got something that's very interesting. I think a lot of people would find interesting. I know I did, because it caught me off guard when I learned the facts about this. But apparently, this is something to raise your glass to, because alcohol can be healthy for you. I know. Give me a second. Hear me out. Get this. It says a new study shows that it reduces stress and could lower the risk of a stroke. So researchers found that those who had 1 to 14 drinks per week, often considered light to moderate drinkers, better process fear and threats along with fewer heart attacks. But they also found that any amount of alcohol obviously raised the risk of cancer. That is a thing to consider as well. But the fact that this study has been brought out, I think we need to specify, say that if you drink alcohol in moderation or in a responsible way, it could, accommodate these things that they say there are benefits. Obviously, we're not advocating for people to drink a lot because that's something we definitely don't want to do. But if you do have a glass of wine or beer here and there, get you a margarita once in a while, it apparently is helpful for you. But keep in consideration that it does sometimes, unfortunately, raise the risk of cancer. That's something to keep in your mind. I want to know what your thoughts are on this because, again, this caught me off guard. I had no idea that this was even a thing. I was just like, alcohol is just alcohol. But I did hear, a while ago, someone was telling me that if you drunk like red wine or something like that, it kind of helps your heart, depending on how you drink it and when you drink it. But yeah, let me see your thoughts. I want to know about them. All right, moving on to our next story. Speaking of drinking something, there's a new spot open at Roanoke to get fresh juices, smoothies, and bowls. Get this. It's called the Fruits and Roots. You might have tried it before because they're usually at the Roanoke City Market on weekends, but now they have a brick and mortar store downtown. The owner says that all of their products have at least one superfood. Renovation process took about 3 months, and they are excited to finally be open. It's located next to the Benny's, and they're offering healthy snacks and drinks this week from 9 until 2 p.m. Go check it out. I know Brittany, actually, her and her photographer Noah went through there yesterday and got the opening of the store yesterday. And then today, I know Rebecca says that when she has time, she's going to go try it out. But it's a lot of cool stuff, a superfood, fresh. You can already tell that they work really hard for this to make it happen. So that's very exciting. So shout out to them. If you're interested in getting you something to sip on like that, 9 until 2, check it out. It's going to be there your way. Also, we got something else cool coming your way. This story that I think is a very special story because it kind of involves the help of everybody. We all know that the wildfires have been taking and wreaking havoc over in Canada. Nova Scotia continues fighting the fires that are taking place, if I can speak correctly. But we get the firefighters from northeastern U.S. are crossing the border to go and help. Well, here's the story. Earlier this week, one of those volunteers got a sweet surprise when it got around the volunteer community. One of the American firefighters was spending his birthday away from home. Their Canadian counterparts stepped in to make a day special, and they organized a lobster dinner, saying it was the least that they can do.
Yeah, everyone is just so thankful. People are just chomping at the bit, ready to do something positive and to help in any way. You drive around the town of Shelburne and there's signs saying, "Thank you, firefighters." Everybody's saying and staying Nova Scotia strong and getting through it together as an entire community.
So yeah, it was a good deal right there, and it's so great to see how many people get together in a time of toughness. You see that these firefighters have been going through it a lot, but the fire is said to be the largest wildfire in Nova Scotia's history, but both Canadian and American firefighters say that the feeling of brotherhood, they have helped them continue their hard work. So God bless them, and God bless them for giving them a lobster dinner. I know meteorologist Chris Michael's saying that being off the coast like that, the lobster has to taste great. So whatever the case may be, they deserve it big time. All right, so moving on to our next story, if I can get to it. Hold on. This is a thing I told you guys about, that I got to get my life together with these stories. Okay, there we go. Back on track. So to that story that we were talking about earlier, when we're trying to figure out what's your favorite star, who wouldn't you mind hearing more music drop from them through an AI source? Again, Beatles are back. So hear this. Paul McCartney told BBC Radio Tuesday, producers use artificial intelligence to mix new Beatles songs with using John Lennon's voice. It comes from a demo that he and McCartney worked on for decades ago. McCartney says the engineers used an AI to produce vocals on the track performed by a computer version of John Lennon. Legendary guitarist and singer admits that it's, quote, kind of scary, but he also says that there's both a good side and a bad side to AI. So what are your thoughts on this? Okay, I'm going to personally say that my favorite artist that I would like to see is I would say I would like to have a Prince going. I would like to have a Michael Jackson going to see exactly what that takes place. But again, I know a lot of people love them, the Beatles. So this may be making you excited or eager to figure out what that new album is. And again, you know that artists, when they make music, they've made music, and there are some songs that we have never heard them be able to release just yet before they've passed on. So to see and know that these people, they're coming together and finding ways for people the fans, to still hear the voices of those that they fell in love with, it's always a good deal. So let's go ahead and bring Jazzy Jazz in the building. Jazz, can you hear me, girlie?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so what do you think about this? So John Lennon and Paul McCartney getting together to get some Beatles music going, but it was all due through to AI. Like, how does that make you feel?
It honestly makes me feel a little uncomfortable. Just the fact that technology is advancing so fast.
Yeah,
But
that's
also, it makes
understandable.
me proud of how fast technology is advancing. But it just makes me a little weary because, when you have the artists putting their emotions into their songs, that can't really measure up to AI producing it. But it's interesting, though.
Yeah, no. And so with that, what's your favorite star? Like, if you had a star that has passed away, like I said, I wouldn't mind hearing more from Prince or more from Michael Jackson. Who would you mind hearing from?
Definitely from Prince.
Yes.
Yeah, because he is incredible, and he has some amazing music that people are still taking inspiration from to this day. So I would love to hear from Prince.
Oh, definitely. All right, girlie, tell me, do we have any viewers or any comments today?
Yes, we have a ton of viewers, excuse me. And unfortunately, we don't have any comments, but as always, you can just head to our website. It's the #1 story on our website. And
Yay.
just scroll down, and you'll see a comment form, which is where you can leave a comment. You can also head to our YouTube channel, and there's a chat box where you can drop a comment as well.
Perfecto, girlie. Well, thank you so much, Jazz. God bless you. You know, I always love having conversations with you.
Yeah, me too.
All right, have a good one.
All right, you too.
All right, guys, before we head out of here, we are going to go straight to our headlines of the day, something that you guys need to keep in mind throughout our later newscast. So coming up, says the trial for the man accused of killing Heather Hodges more than a decade ago continues this morning. Hodges' body has not been found, but law enforcement arrested her former boyfriend, Paul Jordan, last year, charging him with second-degree murder. We got the latest on that case. Plus, we also have multiple Target stores across the U.S. receive bomb threats over the weekend for tamping down some of the Pride products and the Pride displays taking place due to the backlash the company has faced. It says, according to the FBI, the threats were made for allegedly, quote, betraying the LGBTQ plus community, causing several stores to evacuate. How many states were hit? We have those details coming up in a later newscast. And also, startling report from Virginia State Police saying violent crime is up nearly 5%. 10 News reporter Abby Coleman has been working for you with the leaders in Roanoke and Danville, breaking down those numbers. So again, guys, those are your headlines for today, and that and more stories will be coming your way later on throughout today and on our website at WSLS.com. And also, we want to get those pennant pictures in. I want to see what your pennant pictures are. With today being Wednesday, I think we had Thankful Thursday, which is tomorrow. So that means that if you got some pictures of people that you're thankful for, please send them our way, and we'd love to give them a shout out. But with that being said, I'm wrapping up today's edition of the Morning Sprint. We'll be back here again tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. WSLS at the Morning Sprint.